whose video of a speedy recovery after taking a magic pill or a magic concoction, a miracle concoction that he called, has now passed away. Unfortunate news. Here he breathed his last at Nellore Hospital today. The retired teacher was hospitalized for conjunctivitis. Remember, he was a man whose video of speedy recovery after taking the magical medicine went viral. He had taken the so-called herbal eye drop made by B. Anandesh of Krishnapatnam of Nellore. This man now has passed away. He was hospitalized for a long while due to conjunctivitis. Let me quickly cut across to Ashish joining us live. More details on this. Ashish, this Nellore man has the retired headmaster who was propagating a magical or miracle concoction to cure COVID-19 has himself passed away, unfortunately. But take us through what exactly happened to him.
So we were continuously reporting on this entire incident of this so-called miracle medicine being distributed by one a so-called doctor of Nellore, Krishnapatnam of Nellore. Now the government of Andhra Pradesh has after conducting studies and research of that particular Ayurvedic concussion, they have granted the permission for the distribution. However, the government has not permitted the distribution of eye drop, which was also being distributed as a COVID cure or COVID protection by this particular man, Anandaya. About this headmaster had taken the medicine some 10 days ago, and after taking the medicine, he had claimed that he has got speedy recovery. He was a COVID positive patient, and he had claimed on video, and that video had gone viral, where he claimed that after taking Anandaya's medicine, he had speedy recovery. But unfortunately, today morning, he died at Government General Hospital of Nellore. When we spoke to the superintendent of Government General Hospital, they said that this particular retired headmaster, was suffering from different kind of disease and several other disease he was facing apart from COVID-19, and that led to his unfortunate death today morning. And so far it is not linked with the Anandaya medicine, but yes, on the very other hand, government of Andhra Pradesh has decided to start the distribution of this particular medicine, which is claimed as a protection of COVID-19 medicine. Remember, when this medicine was started, distribution was started by Anandaya in Krishnapatnam, the entire village stopped wearing a mask, and they claim that they can't get the COVID-19 virus. That is the big worry and big challenge for the government, that how they'll convince all the villagers, all the persons to take a COVID-19 vaccine apart from this particular concussion.
Well, here it's unfortunate that the man himself passed away, but nonetheless, here's this man who propagated extensively a magic medicine that would cure COVID-19. Unfortunately, he himself has succumbed. Thank you very much, Ashish. Let me quickly cut across, though. Focus to Telangana. We're looking at the state now extending the lockdown until the 10th of June, owing to the rise in numbers. Here we're looking at some relaxation, some curbs. Has been relaxed as well. At the same time, the state cabinet has decided that relaxation period will be from 6 a.m. all the way to 1 p.m. And for those who have some emergencies, they will have a window until 2 p.m. An extra hour will be given for those traveling from a distance to back to their homes. The lockdown will be strictly implemented from 2 p.m. to 6 a.m. Under new relaxations here, land registration, properties under stamps, registration department, vehicle registration, all of that will be allowed on working days. All activities will be allowed during relaxation period as per existing guidelines and in strict adherence to the COVID protocols. Hyderabad Metro 2 will be running from 7 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. So we have some big news coming in from Telangana. The KCR government has now decided to prioritize vaccination of those students who are due to go abroad for their further studies. In fact, the Telangana cabinet has now decided to vaccinate the students going abroad for higher education on priority basis based on their admission letters. The cabinet has instructed the medical and health department to prepare guidelines in this regard. Remember, Apart from Telangana, of course, every state in India currently, students, many of them wanting to go abroad on priority. They've got their admissions, their letters, aren't able to go without the vaccine. They've got to get both their jabs, and finding a vaccine has now become a task. And here is the Telangana government prioritizing these students who are going to be studying abroad. Quickly cutting across to Ashish. Ashish, a good move by the Telangana government. What's the reaction from the student community?
Yes, indeed, a very good move and a very proactive move also we can call it, Nabila. Remember, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana sends maximum number of students to abroad for higher studies. Telugu students are there in US and several other countries, and they prefer higher studies in these foreign lands. And considering that now Telangana government has decided to in fact prioritize all these students who have taken admission, who have document of admission in any of the foreign university, and they are facing vaccine crunch. Now yesterday on Sunday, Telangana Chief Minister held a cabinet meeting. In that cabinet meeting it was decided that government will prioritize vaccination of all these students. They need to submit or they need to furnish their admission document. Based on that document, the government is planning to prioritize vaccination of all these students. State Health Department have been instructed by the Chief Minister to chalk out proper guidelines and plan. So clearly the Telangana government is proactive and considering the speedy vaccination for all those students who are planning to go to abroad for higher studies, Nabila.
Right, Ashish, thank you very much for joining us with those details. We're hoping that other governments also take cue from this point and ensure that these students are prioritized along with, of course, the front lines. Thank you very much. Let me quickly cut across to Karnataka's Bagalkote. This is one example on how this district has managed to keep the virus at bay. In fact, Nolan Pinto, who toured around the district there, found how MBBS doctors along with ASHA workers, in fact MBBS students along with ASHA workers, are conducting hectic contact tracing, door-to-door survey, only to find out if anybody in the house is infected and who are the primary contacts, secondary contacts. They're ensuring that this way they're keeping the virus at bay by containment, specifically in that particular district. Let's take a quick look.
With just over 3,000 active cases, Karnataka's Bagalkote shows the way on how to contain COVID spread, especially as virus ravages several rural districts of the state. In the Shirur village, MBBS doctors, as part of their medical internship, walk side by side ASHA workers as they conduct door-to-door survey to find out if there are COVID cases.
Medical interns are being put to use to go door to door. Earlier it was ASHA workers, but this time these are doctors themselves who are going door to door, talking to people and getting information from them based on various parameters to understand if they are suffering from COVID.
We have taken the interns because they are trained already. We have sensitized them and we have given them the protective measures also. And they are doing it house to house. First, they are asking the symptoms. They are checking their oxygen, saturation, and they are screening with that thermal screening. Okay. So if anybody found serious and anybody having mild or moderate symptoms, they have given the health education along with what to do. Okay. And if any case serious is there, we send them to our Kumareshwar hospital, which is under BVSN Medical College.
So the doctors have been given a set of questions to ask each and every villager. Based on the replies, they can understand if the person is sick or not and what needs to be done next.
They were asked mainly questions like, have they got a fever, cough, sore throat, running nose, and diarrhea, vomiting. All those symptoms they were asked, and whoever has got the symptoms, they were given COVID like kit, basic antibiotic with antipyretic, and if the symptom doesn't come down, they were shifted to Kumareshwar hospital. An RT-PCR test at the doorstep only. Okay. At the doorstep only, the government has provided some health workers where they do RT-PCR test for suspected cases. Okay. And we start them on tablets.
Every single COVID case left unattended can lead to others being infected. This survey work therefore plays an important role in controlling the surge.
as we go to the respective houses in the villages, most of them are very receptive towards it. Some of them are irritable, but as we approach them, we ask them the basic questions. Most of us know Kannada here, and since Kannada is a local language, they are very receptive to what we ask. Some of them are vaccinated, some of them are not. Some of them have symptoms and some of them don't. So they are not particularly afraid, but we are getting the statistics down.
Medical interns working in private hospitals are also being roped in to track and trace COVID cases in the villages.
अभी तक 40 villages cover किया है. 33,000 homes, it comes to 1.5 lakh people. ये इतना अभी कवर हुआ है. हमारा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में क्या है, 7 असेंबली कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी है और 9 तालुकास है. वो सारा तालुका अभी कवर कर रहे हैं हम. तालुक हो, डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर हो और रूरल एरिया हो, सबको कवर करके घर का इसका जांच करने से किसको बुखार है, खांसी है, वो पता चल जाएगा. उसको सीसीसी में, कोविड कोरोना केयर सेंटर में शिफ्ट कर सकते. ज़्यादा ये रहे तो हॉस्पिटल को शिफ्ट करते, तालुका हॉस्पिटल, डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल, आवर हॉस्पिटल, कहीं भी.
Now, with cases increasing in the rural parts of Karnataka, these door-to-door surveys will play an important role in catching those villagers who are infected so that they in turn don't infect others. Now, it's a simple process, but very, very effective. With video journalist Madhuwar, Nolan Pinto for India Today in Bagalkot district.
Now coming back to Tamil Nadu, which is seeing a surge, particularly in the western parts of Tamil Nadu, the western region. Coimbatore, the worst affected, with close to 3,000 COVID-19 cases reported in the last 24 hours. Now, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, leading by example, has visited hospitals in Coimbatore, Salem, Erode, that entire region. He was seen wearing a PPE suit. Stalin visited some COVID wards, the ICUs at a government hospital in Coimbatore. He wore a PPE suit, entered those wards, inquired into the health of some of those COVID patients. In fact, Stalin also inspected 300 newly set up oxygen beds at the hospital. Stalin's efforts now being seen as confidence-building measure among the doctors and the frontline workers who have been working really hard in this fight against COVID. Coimbatore, indeed, one of the worst affected districts in Tamil Nadu, with over 3,000 COVID cases reported in the city. Now, speaking of Tamil Nadu's western region, around Salem district, there's a place called Yerkad, which is known for its tourist spots. It's one of the picturesque locations there where people come by only to visit the botanical gardens, the flower shows, and this tourist spot, in fact, feeds at least 67 villages in that vicinity. Let's take a quick look. 2 consecutive years, business has been completely wiped out there.
Take vaccine, secure your life. This message, written with flowers at Yerkad's Anna Park, did not see the light of day, as their much-awaited flower show was cancelled for the 2nd year in a row. The flowers were in full bloom until 2 weeks ago, when the 3-day summer show was due to be held. The horticulture department had made all efforts to make the 45th flower show a stellar one after last year's lull. Unfortunately, this year too, the show was called off at the last moment, leading to large chunks of exotic flowers withering away without an audience.
For the flower show, we have to start the work from the month of December, January. We have started. Okay. We have started sowing the seeds, sowing the flower seeds in field pots, and planting the dahlia plants.
At least 10,000 flower pots were kept ready. 2,000 lilium plants were brought in from Ooty, 4,000 dahlia plants from Kolkata, and 675 varieties of roses from Bengaluru were planted in these gardens to mark the grand show. But months of preparations fell flat due to the sudden COVID surge.
Pandemic we didn't expect. Unfortunately, pandemic came, so that we were unable to conduct the show. These flowers now start withering. We used to get some 2 lakh people to this, and we get some 20 lakhs rupees for the receipt to the government.
What's tragic is that the entire town of Yercaud feeds on tourism through the year. 67 villages around Yercaud depend on visitors thronging the stunning location. The lockdown brought them to their knees.
This place, Yercaud, for people around the districts here and neighbouring states is a spot of gold. At least 2 lakh odd visitors that come by around the summer months to just take a good look at the botanical gardens, the deer park, enjoy the boat rides. It's very unfortunate that for the last 2 years, tourism here has come to a grinding halt.
The lockdown not only wiped away business for this town, but also cut off access to food. Villagers struggle to get hold of groceries and daily essentials as Yercaud is located on a hilltop.
நிறைய ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் இருக்குது. அந்த ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்டை நம்பி நிறைய பீப்புள் ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்லேயே ஒர்க் பண்ணுறாங்க. அதனால அதெல்லாம் நிறைய லாஸ் தான்.
The horticulture department stepped in to provide some relief to villagers, providing them with essentials on a regular basis. But nothing can truly compensate for their losses 2 years in a row.
The flower formation here reads, "Take vaccine, secure your life." This was the lovely message that was due to welcome lakhs of visitors into these botanical gardens in Yercaud. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 induced lockdown, this year too, the horticulture department's efforts has died a slow death. Many of the flowers have withered away, many more are still in full bloom, but we're only hoping that the moment of gloom doesn't carry forward any longer, because there are over 500 families that are supported through the tourism right here. We're hoping that it's back in action by next year. With camera person Pawan Kumar, Nabila Jamal for India Today, Yercaud, Salem. We have some big news coming in from Tamil Nadu. The political circles are buzz after Sasikala's entry into politics. AIADMK has now reacted strongly. The party deputy coordinator claims that Sasikala is not part of AIADMK and is being used only to create some confusion there. He further says that Sasikala can never enter AIADMK. Here's the AIADMK's reaction. Party deputy coordinator claims Sasikala is not part of the party. This is only an attempt to create confusion and that she will never be allowed into the party again.
அனைத்திந்திய அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் என்ற அந்த மாபெரும் இயக்கத்திற்கும் இந்த அம்மையாருக்கும் எந்தவித சம்பந்தமும் கிடையாது. இந்த அம்மையார் இந்த கட்சியிலே இல்லை. மாறாக நன்றாக செயலாற்றிக் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற, முன்னெடுத்துச் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற, எதிர்கட்சியாக திகழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்ற இந்த இயக்கத்தை எப்படியாவது குழப்பத்தை ஏற்படுத்த வேண்டும் என்று ஒரு சிலர் இந்த அம்மையாரை முன்னிறுத்தி இது போன்ற கருத்துக்களை சொல்லிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். இவர்கள் ஏற்படுத்துகின்ற குழப்பத்திற்கு ஒரே ஒரு அதிமுக தொண்டர்கள் கூட அதற்கு செவிசாய்க்க மாட்டார்கள்.
Let me quickly cut across to Pramod Madhav joining us live from Chennai. Pramod, do take us through this kind of confusion that Sasikala has created once again. AIADMK now strictly opposing her re-entry, saying that this is all done only to create confusion. What kind of confusion does he mean?
Well, interestingly, the deputy coordinator of AIADMK is calling this as a confusion. However, it seems to be a very big shock for AIADMK, because even though she was released from prison on 8th of February, by 3rd of March she said that she's staying away from active politics, and it's not even been 2 months, and she's once again come forward and said that she's going to enter politics again once the corona issue subsides. And not just that, she also mentions that she's extremely hurt by the way the party is being run, the infighting, and she cannot see the party which they actually, her team, with utmost difficulty brought up to this level, is being decimated, and that's the reason she wants to return. However, the deputy coordinator claims that some people want to create some confusion, probably with leadership issues, and that's the reason they are keeping Sasikala as a forefront and giving out these kind of informations. But this conversation was between Sasikala and a cadre. So it was directly from Sasikala to and a cadre, and here it seems like neither EPS or OPS has not reacted on the matter, but just the deputy coordinator wants to speak on it.
Right. Prabhu, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Of course, this now again created a buzz within the AIADMK circles who are strongly opposing Sasikala's re-entry. On that note, I'm going to slip into a short break. We'll be back with news and updates on the other side.
Shocking revelation in Sagar Rana murder case. After Delhi police started probing the matter, it came to light that the gruesome murder could be a crime of passion and may not be over just unpaid rent. According to sources, gangster Kala Jathedi's nephew Sonu was staying with his girlfriend in Sushil's model town flat in Delhi, and that became the bone of contention between Sushil Kumar and Sagar, and Sonu Mahal too. Sushil may have objected to the girl staying in the rented accommodation. Same day, they had a fight with Sushil over the girl staying in the flat, which is in the name of Sushil's wife. They grabbed Sushil's collar during a tiff and things got heated up. After the argument, Sushil has learned to have lost his temper. The small brawl escalated into a fatal fight at Chhatrasal Stadium that resulted in the murder of Sagar Dhankar. Sonu was bashed up too, allegedly with the help of Neeraj Bhavana, who's a gangster. Police are investigating to trace the mystery girl and find her role in this entire crime. In more trouble for murder accused Olympic medalist Sushil Kumar, the Delhi Police Crime Branch has taken him to Haridwar to join the missing links of the high-profile Sagar Rana murder case. Stringent macoca may be slapped on him as well. Here is an update on all the probe details.
The fall of a mighty wrestler. Two-time Olympic medalist is now a murder accused. On May the 4th, Sushil Kumar allegedly killed fellow wrestler Sagar Rana in a brawl and fled to Haridwar soon after the incident. Delhi Police Crime Branch has now taken Sushil to Haridwar to complete the timeline of the high-profile case. Police say that Sushil's mobile phone, which is yet to be collected, holds crucial details about the case. Videos recorded during the fight, who all Sushil WhatsApped, including contacts with gangsters and other call details, will prove to be crucial evidence against the wrestler. It is believed that Sushil disposed of his mobile phone in Haridwar while he was on the run.
The Delhi police is gathering circumstantial evidence along with concrete evidence to make a watertight case against Sushil Kumar. The investigators also suspect that Sushil Kumar might have disposed his clothes in Haridwar, possibly containing DNA of Saga. The police is also probing that who was the person who gave refuse to Sushil Kumar after he fled from Delhi immediately after beating Sagar, who later died in hospital.
Sources have confirmed to India Today that Sushil has been uncooperative so far and has stuck to his statement that he only beat up Sagar and killing Sagar was not his motive. But the proof is mounting. The video of the May 4th assault shows Sushil with gangsters. Pictures have also linked him with criminals, and that's why the Delhi police is cracking the whip. Delhi police is reportedly planning to slap stringent MCOCA charges against Sushil over his involvement with gangsters. According to Delhi police, Sushil Kumar was in touch with gangsters like Kala Jathedi and Neeraj Bhavana. During the murder of Sagar Rana, Sushil also beat up the nephew of gangster Kala Jathedi. This led to a rift between Kala Jathedi and Sushil Kumar. Delhi police sources also say that gangster Bhavana's henchmen are suspected to have accompanied the Olympian on May 4th.
After slapping off MCOCA in Sagar Dhankar murder case, the police will not only get extension in filing charge sheet, but it will also be able to ask for maximum punishment against Sushil Kumar and other accused during the trial of this case. It will also become very difficult for Sushil Kumar to get bail in the case.
And that's not the end of the troubles for Sushil. Another person has now accused him of assault, a shopkeeper claiming that he was beaten up black and blue by the wrestler.
छुटते मेरे सुशील कुमार जी ने 2-3 हाथ दिए। जैसे उन्होंने हाथ दिए ऐसे सारे जो 30-40 पहलवान वहाँ 50 खड़े थे सबने मारना शुरू कर दिया। मेरे को तो फुटबॉल बना दिया। सबसे पहला हाथ सुशील ने मारा था मेरे।
Sushil Kumar has been evasive and in denial over the murder charges against him, but the evidence against him is piling up. Not just in the murder of Sagar Rana, but also for his alleged close ties with the deadliest gangsters of Delhi. With Munish Pandey in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.